The Native American writer and organizer Winona LaDuke, a leader of the White Earth Reservation in Minnesota, ran as the vice presidential candidate with Ralph Nader in 1996 as they campaigned on the Green Party for an alternative. Here is an excerpt of her speech accepting the nomination of the Green Party.
I am not inclined toward electoral politics, yet I am impacted by public policy. I am interested in reframing the debate on the issues of this society, the distribution of power and wealth, the abuse of power and the rights of the natural world, the environment, and the need to consider an amendment to the U.S. Constitution in which all decisions made today will be considered in light of their impact on the seventh generation from now. That, I believe, is what sustainability is all about. As most of you probably know, I live and work on the White Earth Reservation in northern Minnesota. I find that as small and as rural as is my area of the North Woods, as small as my pond is, the decisions made in Washington still affect me. And it is the fact that decisions made by others, people who have never seen my face, never seen our lakes, never tasted our wild rice, or heard the cry of a child in Consford, have come to impact me and my society. I am here to say that all people have the right and responsibility to determine their destiny, and I do not relinquish this right to political action committees, to lobbyists, and to decision makers who are far away. When you live in one of the poorest sections of the country and in the state of Minnesota, you are able to understand, perhaps better, the impact of public policy. It is indeed my contention that there is no real quality of life in America until there is quality of life in the poorest regions of this America. This is the nation leading the world in terms of number of people in poverty. There are some 9 million children in this country in poverty. Welfare reform legislation eliminated the safety net for those children. Now let me tell you about some real people. Native Americans are the poorest people in the country. My daughter's entire third grade class, with few exceptions, is below the poverty level. The only choices those parents have with any hope, with 45% unemployment, is to work at the casino at about $6 an hour. With 2 parents working and paying child care expenses, this makes them ostensibly the working poor. Not much different than being in poverty. So my friends, a family of 7 who live in a 2-bedroom trailer down the road from me on aid to families with dependent children, have few options under the new welfare reform plan. I will not stand by mute as the safety net is taken away from those children in that third grade class. Under American domestic and foreign policy addresses quality of life issues for the poorest people in this country, we cannot say there's quality of life. Until all of us are treated as people with full human rights, we cannot tout a human rights record. Until policy decisions are made that do not benefit solely the 1% of the population, which has more wealth than the bottom 90% of the population, I do not think that we can collectively say that we are talking about real economic and social benefits. And finally, until we have an environmental, economic, and social policy that is based on the consideration of the impact on the 7th generation from now, we will still be living in a society that is based on conquest, not one that is based on survival.